So we're here at Sweetgrass Dairy, which is more than just a dairy. It's one of the sites where I do my research on barn swallows, and this is most of the Coleman clan. And I've been really lucky to get to do my work with the help of the children who live at this farm. And we come here quite regularly with our students, our Kenyon students, and we check all the nests, and we catch all the adults, and we band them so we can individually identify them. And then we associate each of these birds with one of the nests that you can see in the barn. So the birds will build these cup nests and lay 3 to 6 eggs in them and then raise their babies. And my group studies questions related to social behavior. So we're interested in how these birds sort of negotiate this shared space since they breed in the barn. And we do this with some really high-tech proximity loggers that we put on the birds. And these birds then wear them for the period of time that we're estimating their social network. So these tags measure when 2 birds get close together, and they register the identity of the other tag. So by putting these little loggers on these birds for a series of weeks, we can then figure out who's sort of really the most popular barn swallow in the barn, and what is it about the birds, the way they look, that predicts how they interact with other individuals. So the way I found this particular research site actually has nothing to do with Kenyon and nothing to do with barn swallows initially.
As an avid cyclist, I ride a lot of the streets around here, and I had a random message come to me through the Strava app that we use to track our cycling, and it was this lady by the name of Iris reaching out to me. She had seen some of our pictures of the farm during some of my bike rides, and she wanted to study barn swallows here on the farm. I thought that was a little strange, and it's not the normal message you get through other cyclists, but I said, why not? We're all about partnerships and having folks come to the farm. So we thought that'd be a great opportunity to learn more about barn swallows. We didn't realize all the benefits that were going to come from it. First and foremost, the biggest one is the opportunity that our kids get learning and being a part of Iris's research.
Ecologists are known for their fancy tools. Sometimes we do use very fancy tools, but often we repurpose things that you can purchase at Lowe's. So I've got an extendable painter's pole here and an auto inspection mirror. So what I'm looking for is some indication of activity. So here there's actually an egg in this nest, and there's feathers lining it. So a female barn swallow will lay 1 egg a day. And so if I check the nests every 2 or 3 days, I can figure out when she starts laying, when the clutch is complete, and then 14 days later, usually around 14 days, we'll get chicks that start hatching over the course of 1 day. So one of the best parts of working on private property is getting to interact with the landowners, especially as they become more and more interested in learning about what we're doing with their barn swallows. So we're standing here in Patricia and Alan Wolf's barn, where there are 100 breeding birds every summer. And so we spend a lot of time in this barn, and regularly Patricia and Alan come down to the barn and ask us what we're doing and ask questions about the birds. And there's nothing a scientist likes more than to get to talk about their work and to explain it to people and to watch other people get excited about these small little common songbirds that eat mosquitoes and make a lot of mess in the barn.
Iris contacted me through an email from my guest house that's here on the property. And she was always very interesting, and still is. Anyway, she asked if she could stop by and talk to us about studying or looking at our barn swallows. She noticed we had a lot of them as she would fly by on her bike.
It's fun to see the diligence that Iris had in this whole process. Her and Toshi, her support person, were here every day, and the diligence was just refreshing.
The other thing is Iris is so enthusiastic that
the excitement spreads.
Yeah.
So it's just been a great experience. We don't have a great connection to Kenyon College, but we're happy to be in the community with Kenyon College.
Yeah.
Our small piece of it has been fun.
Mm-hmm.
So this has been just such a treat to get to work on these private properties, and I can't do this work without these sorts of partners. And we've gotten to learn a lot about the birds, but also share that knowledge with the people who host them.